SMT Nation, we are back. Nation, in today's video, I have good news, I have bad news. But I'm going to give you both pieces of news. All right, we have updates out of AT&T in regards to their fiber services. And actually, some of the shutting down of their legacy copper services. So we'll be talking about old phone line, as well as copper, DSL, and all those things. All right, so anyways, maybe you qualify for AT&T Fiber. You've never considered the service. Maybe it's coming to you. They're building it. I'll provide a link for the website for you guys to check out what they offer and how this works. Maybe you can find it helpful. All right, so that'll be linked in the description. But I wanted to give you guys this update because I think it's really important. It's going to impact some of you directly. Some of you maybe indirectly because you have family or friends that may kind of be in these regions, right? So the first thing I want to mention, the most important part, AT&T is shutting down copper. They're going to be decommissioning this very old legacy technology that just seemingly does not have a measurable return that AT&T even wants to, mess with anymore. So AT&T has a program that is known as Wireless First. All right, internally at the company, 50% of the current DSL copper footprint is going to get fiber. The other 50%, which is what this Wireless First program is for, will not be getting fiber. They will be getting some type of a wireless service as their solution. So you've got 50 million passings of fiber for the AT&T fiber expansion over the next several years. But there are parts of the country, even in today's current existing AT&T wireline footprint, that will not get fiber. They're going to be getting some kind of a wireless option. The timing, of course, absolutely perfect. You can't ask for better timing if you're AT&T. They were able to get 20 different states. Out of the 21 states they build wireline operations, the only exception, California. Of course, the exception is California because AT&T is the carrier of last resort within the state of California. They simply cannot, by law, in the structure and the deal they have with the California Public Utilities Commission, they can't decommission the copper. So the way I guess this is going to work out is AT&T, I guess over the years, has covered 88 million locations with their wireline operations. I think that includes voice services as well as data services. 29 million people have fiber currently, or 29 million fiber locations are currently passed by AT&T. 50 million in the upcoming years, which means 21 million are voice services only, right? So that's interesting, but I know it sucks, no fiber, but no problem. AT&T says they're going to have some kind of a solution for them. They're going to have, fixed wireless access with AT&T Internet Air. They're going to have also what's known as AT&T Phone Advanced for voice services in places where they don't have any other connectivity options. And it's interesting, right? This really is kind of interesting that AT&T has only been able to justify building out fiber in half of their current wireline operations. The actual quote from AT&T's wireline leadership is, quote, "There is no economic path to do so." So they're basically saying it doesn't make money sense for them to actually build the fiber in those 50% of their footprint. So some of the unserved areas will only have access to satellite. I noticed that they were talking about ASTS a little bit for that. So they might have the nod in covering voice and possibly data at some point. AT&T is giving ASTS spectrum along with the partnership with Verizon, which I think, obviously text call, but I think data too, to some extent. So copper is on a total shutdown mission. It's probably going to happen here in the next couple of years. Obviously, the copper network is so legacy and has not seen any reinvestment, maintenance, any type of repair or management from AT&T. I mean, obviously that's AT&T's fault, but it's expensive to manage and repair and operate the copper DSL situation. It's much more cost effective to do fiber once it's built, right? And that is kind of the thing. That's why only 50% of the current wireline footprint is actually getting fiber. The cost to actually build the fiber makes it so it's not feasible for AT&T. Unfortunate, but I think probably what's good for AT&T in this is by shutting all that legacy tech down, they're going to save a lot of money. And that's probably good for the investor too. The dividend boys will be very happy to learn about the copper shutdown. And of course, that offers those cost-cutting benefits. And really, that's been the only thing that's been on the mind of CEO John Stankey and the company as a whole. They're really just trying to find the cheapest and absolute lowest cost way to do everything. And part of that is just basically shutting down the services through copper. So some of you have been wondering why you can't sign up for AT&T DSL over the last couple of years. Here's why. Some of you are trying to figure out why they're cutting off DSL services. Here's why. We're just kind of hoping that AT&T Internet Air becomes viable in a lot more places and these solutions can be created. And of course, we really just need, more options for people. Even just, there's some people who don't have an option. There's some people that have one, which is not an option, right? We just need solutions for these folks. So looking forward to see what comes your way. Be on the lookout. Fixed wireless access could be there to save the day. And who knows, maybe the satellite thing really does take off and it's able to service, in some of these locations where there's just a few folks and there's not a lot of traffic. We'll see. We'll continue to track this story and more. But go ahead and subscribe if you're new here and turn on the bell notifications so when we have new videos on the things developing in the industry, you'll know out about it and you'll be able to stay tuned with all the things happening in the industry. Thanks for watching. Drop me a comment. What do you guys think of AT&T's approach? You like it? You hate it? What's the weakness? What are the strengths of it? Your take, welcome down below. You're the voice of the people, the SMT Nation. Let your voice be heard.